Now let's talk about fear of judgment. Well, some founders are afraid of failure. Actually, most of founders are afraid of failure. Some founders are afraid of success. Maybe they aren't aware of that fear, but they are actually afraid of success. But even more founders are afraid of simple judgment. What do other people think and say if I don't succeed? Or what do they think and say if I succeed and I will change my behavior, I will change my priorities, I will focus more on building that startup, launching that startup. If I have to change my team, if I have to change the attitude to the processes, to the works, to relationships, and so on and so forth. So when we are about to launch successful startup into the market, either it's obviously successful or not, it depends on a bunch of criteria, but if we succeed, people will judge us. If we fail, people will judge us. And no matter what you do, you will be judged. That's it. So it's inevitable. Most likely, you can't get away with that. So people will think about you and will say about you anything they want. And here's one great quote: what do other people think about me? It's not of my business. So ask yourself, do you actually care of what other people think and say about you? Another thing, another question for you, if you are afraid of judgment, afraid of what do other people think and say and how do they react, is just ask yourself, would you still do this, what you are planning to do after 5, 10 years? So if you would look back, was it worth it or not? No matter if you succeed or don't succeed. And usually trying to do something, trying to accomplish something is much better than just being afraid of what do other people say and maybe I will fail and do nothing. So instead of being afraid of judgment, think of yourself, how would I personally evaluate that situation, that decision after 5 years, 10 years, or when my life comes to an end? So will I think about it? Yeah, it was a silly thing, but I don't regret that. Well, I tried, well, it didn't succeed, but that's it. Or will you think that you never figured out whether this might have worked or not because you were afraid of damn what other people would think about you? So ask yourself, would it make sense to try to do after a number of years or when your life comes to an end? And another one tip, if you are among those people who are still kind of related to what other people think and say, this is a very simple exercise. Imagine that you arrive to a totally strange country where you have no friends, no relatives, nobody knows you. And would you still be bound to these limiting beliefs that you can't do or you shouldn't do that? Because, well, there is no one else who will evaluate you, or at least no one whose opinion you should care about. So if you think that judgment of your actions, of your thoughts, of your achievements, no matter if you succeed or if you fail, stops you from doing something, just get rid of that. Ask yourself, what would you personally think when your life comes to an end?